I want to do it. I just want to, woo!
Woo!
Right after that one, how do you, where does that live in your set? Where was it last night? It's got to be close to the end.
We open with it.
You open?
We open with it. I mean, you gotta come out swinging, you know?
That's amazing.
We open with me appearing in the middle of a very extremely large heart.
Yeah.
In a silhouette. Yeah, it is. It's iconic.
That's so good to come out and do that. I love that you come out and announce that you're here.
The fans are so hype. You've got to meet them with the same energy.
How do you? Are you like? How's your cardio? It's got to be pretty good if you got a whole show to do after you open with that song.
I do my best, but we were just talking about this. I was like, well, it's okay. I think I threw my back out walking down the stairs last night on stage. So who knows? You know, you're sleeping in a bed every night that moves throughout the entire night.
Country music has been good to you so far.
So good.
Like the crowd out there. I mean, was this always in your blood? Is this? You're a girl from Illinois. I'm thinking Bailey Zimmerman, Brett Eldridge.
Yeah.
Alison Krauss. Mm-hmm. There's like, people don't think about Illinois when they think about country music.
I know. And the thing is that when people think about Illinois, they think you're from Chicago.
Yeah, they do.
And they don't think, corn. Like, think corn, not city. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, I'm actually much closer to St. Louis than I am. I'm like 30 minutes from downtown St. Louis. But yeah, I mean, country music is all that my parents listen to. It's what I listened to from the back seat my entire life growing up. And this is going to be surprising to you, I bet, but I actually started in hip hop. Isn't that crazy? Okay. My first record deal was an R&B record deal.
It was, I was going to say, there was a time when that would have surprised me. And now with guys like Cameron Whitcomb coming through, Canadian artist who did nothing but listen to Eminem growing up and Jelly and whatever, and Post Malone, it's surprising me less and less. Now, I just think that, and I was talking to somebody about it recently where they were talking about the fact that with the streaming world, that sometimes you don't necessarily go from genre intentionally, consciously from genre to genre if you're being offered up things.
Exactly.
So you might be just exposed to a bunch of different things growing up.
100%. And I mean, there's a huge hip hop scene in St. Louis, and Nelly created a huge platform for hip hop in St. Louis, as well as like Chingy and Jaquan, and so I came up in St. Louis just singing hooks on hip hop tracks, and that's how I got my first record deal in 2012.
Wow. So you've got like street cred in a lot of different places.
I like to think so, yeah.
Hey, I know you said you grew up closer to St. Louis, but when you play in Chicago, that must be like an insane hometown. Like, I know it's not your hometown, but Chicago must go crazy for you.
We just sold out Chicago House of Blues.
Let's go.
A couple nights ago. So yeah, it was really, really special. And yeah, people travel in. It's about 5.5 hours from where I grew up.
Yeah.
But people still come for sure. And I'm actually playing, it's almost sold out, but 4,500 people in St. Louis.
That's amazing.
I know, in June. So excited for that.
Alexandra Kay, Dallas Smith, lucky enough to have you turbo boost one of his tracks, a song called How Do You Miss Me, that he released initially as a solo endeavor on his self-titled album that came out last fall. And then I was talking to him, he was here yesterday before the show. You show up after the show in the morning after a sold-out show. Dallas is still sleeping, I guarantee you that. But when you heard the track and you heard his version by himself, what did you think? How did you approach adding your voice to a song that already existed?
Man, I absolutely loved it, first of all. And I think that my first thing whenever I hear a track that somebody maybe wants me to come on and they want to make a duet out of it, I just listen for their voice and see if we're going to blend well.
Yeah.
And instantly when I heard Dallas's voice, I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to sound really good together. And I got in, went to Big Loud and started cutting the track. And I just kind of like turned around to Beth and was like, oh, we got something here. This is going to be really good. And Dallas, I'm a new signee to BMG. So I have been an independent artist for the last 6 years. And so radio is very new to me. I've never had a song go to radio before. And so Dallas has really kind of taken me under his wing and taken me to all of the Canadian radio stations. And he's teaching me the ropes because, he's a vet.
14 number ones. 14 number ones. More than any other country artist in Canadian history. He knows what he's doing. Dallas joined you on stage for this song last night. How was it?
It was amazing. The crowd went absolutely wild. He sang his butt off like he always does. And I mean, it's so cool to be kind of like making my first mark in Canada with somebody who is just so treasured. And I'm just so grateful for him and him getting to share share his fan base.
Did you help him understand the world of social media?
I'm trying.
Because he's like an old rock guy.
I'm trying, but he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not used to it. Like, he didn't come up in that way. And so, I'll show him social media. He'll show me radio. And we're perfect.
You're doing fine already.